When we think about justice, one key principle stands out. Those who commit a crime should face the consequences of their actions. Am I right or am I wrong? If you do the crime, you should do the time. This is a saying that we have all heard at least once within our lives. Yet in the UK, overcrowded prisons have led to the early release of prisoners, a decision that has sparked serious debate. In my view, this is not the right path. If someone has broken the law, they should serve their full sentence, regardless of how crowded the prison may be. Allowing criminals to walk free before their time is up undermines justice, puts the public at risk, and dodges the real issue. Let's dive into why early release isn't the solution and what we could be doing instead. Some solutions might be harsher than others, but these are just quick ones that came to mind. Let's start by asking, why do we punish criminals in the first place? There are a few clear reasons. First, there's retribution. The idea that when someone commits a crime, they owe a debt to the victim or victims, be it society itself or an individual. Spending time in prison is a way of paying it back. We also want to deter others from breaking the law, and we want to keep dangerous people off the streets. Then there's rehabilitation, which apparently helps offenders change, which in my opinion doesn't always work. This is so they can re-enter society as law-abiding citizens if successful. But what happens when we release prisoners early? It sends a troubling message to the victims, but also it sends a message to those looking to offend that they might have a chance of getting away with a lighter sentence if caught due to overcrowding. If sentences aren't enforced, or in some cases harsh enough, then criminals may not take the justice system seriously. The deterrent effect weakens, and people start to question whether doing the crime really means doing the time. The public is already losing trust in the police. Now, with this situation, they will also lose trust in the justice system. Justice becomes less about what is best for the victim or society and more about what is convenient. Overcrowded prisons are a real problem, there's no denying that. But releasing offenders early because we've run out of space is not the answer. In the UK, tough sentencing laws, more people behind bars, and limited investment in new facilities have all led to this issue. Yet, releasing prisoners early doesn't solve the problem. It just shifts the burden from the prison system onto the public. Imagine this. People who've committed serious crimes are released back into our communities, even though they haven't served their full sentence or completed rehabilitation programs. Don't get me wrong. I believe that it comes to a point on the scale of crimes that certain prisoners shouldn't even be offered rehabilitation programs. This whole releasing prisoners early is just a short-term fix that ignores the long-term consequences. Overcrowding is a failure of the system, not a justification to let offenders off the hook. We need to address the overcrowding issue directly rather than undermine justice. I am a sole believer that everyone deserves a second chance. However, if criminals reoffend, then they should be sent to an island where they can fend for themselves. Releasing prisoners early isn't just a practical issue, it's an ethical one. Imagine you're the victim of a crime. You've suffered, you've fought for justice, and you've seen the person responsible sentenced to prison. How would you feel if they were let out early? Not because they'd been rehabilitated or proven themselves ready, but because there wasn't enough space in the prison? You would feel disgusted and let down, would you not? For many victims, knowing that the offender is serving their full sentence is an essential part of the healing process. Early release minimizes the seriousness of the crime and sends a message that the offender's convenience is more important than the victim's right to justice. It's about fairness, not just for the criminals, but for the victims and society as a whole. And what happens if we keep making decisions based on overcrowding? Does that mean sentences will get shorter every time the system is under pressure? We must be very careful of not creating a system where the severity of the punishment depends on how full the prisons are. That's not justice, it's opportunism and plain right stupid. Now, I'm not saying rehabilitation isn't important, it absolutely is, but real rehabilitation takes time and unfortunately doesn't work for everyone. Also, let's not forget that not every prisoner deserves the right to rehabilitation. Prisoners need access to programs that help them address the root causes of their criminal behavior, whether it's addiction, mental health issues, or a lack of education or job skills. These programs are essential to helping offenders change. But can we really expect meaningful rehabilitation when prisoners are released before completing their sentences? So, if early release isn't the answer, what is? As I've said before, offenders that have committed serious crimes like murder and rape should all be dumped on an island and let them fend for themselves. Yes, it's harsh, but these people don't deserve anything else, in my opinion. This would make space for medium and low offenders. Also, this would mean we wouldn't need as many prison officers, as all high-risk inmates are no longer there. So the money saved here could be used to build more prisons to make more room for offenders. Another solution is to explore alternative sentences for non-violent offenders. Not everyone needs to be behind bars. Community service, house arrest, and rehabilitation programs can be more effective for those convicted of minor non-violent crimes. This would free up prison space for more serious offenders who need to be kept away from society. What are your thoughts? Do you have any solutions? Let me know your thoughts below. In conclusion, releasing prisoners early because of overcrowding is just pure stupidity. It weakens the justice system, puts public safety at risk, and raises serious ethical questions. While overcrowding is a real problem, the solution isn't to let criminals walk free. Instead, they need to address the root causes of overcrowding by investing in new facilities and exploring alternative sentencing options. The principle remains, if you do the crime, you should do the time. Justice must be served fully and fairly, not cut short for the sake of convenience. Let's solve the problem, not sidestep it. If you have enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and hit that subscribe button, as it helps the channel grow.